Good morning, friends. Grumpy Old Ken, number 12. I'm surprised I've got that far. Doesn't seem moments since I was doing number 1. No more professional than they were, but I've resisted the temptation to make them look sort of too much. In other words, do them over and over again. Perhaps I'll learn, perhaps I won't. The last one, number 11, talked about the den, and this being my den, etc. And I've sat pondering this ever since. And I thought what I'd do is talk about what was the main pursuit, if you like, in the den, in the trough. It was only very small. I don't think it's still there. Somebody has looked for me, but we think it's gone. But it is a long, long time ago. So what did we do around about 1950? Anywhere around about within 2 years either way, we smoked, or we learned to smoke. Looking at cigarettes today, and I don't smoke, haven't done for many years. Looking at cigarettes today and how it's altered, time has moved on. They did know in 1952 the danger of smoking, because I remember reading a piece for research, and in 1952 there was definitely, they knew of the connection between lung cancer and smoking. I'm surprised and saddened that very little was done about it. But there again, such is life. I was myself interested in smoking at a very young age for various reasons. We had at Christmas, for instance, very early on, probably from the age of 7 or 8, a smoker's kit, which is, or was, a pipe, cigarettes, I can't remember the other. And they were, of course, made from licorice. The cigarettes had red ends, and really it was an introduction for young children to smoke. Terrible, really, when you think about it. I collected things like cigarette cards, which were, you know, again, a way of into smoking. My relations all smoked things like Woodbines, Craven A, Park Drive. I myself had a box or two empty boxes given me from the big house. They were given to my mother, who was a cleaner there, from the big house, and there I put obviously little treasures in them, and they were Passing Clouds, a very upmarket cigarette, not for the working classes. How did we get into smoking? One of the very earliest ways was things like, the earliest I can remember was an acorn cup, a straw, make a little hole in the acorn cup, collect dried walnut leaves, put them into the cup, push them down with your fingers and set fire to them. Crude. Oh no, I don't know whether it was dangerous or not, I wonder. But we puffed away at them. We also puffed away at the inside of elderberry. When elderberry grows, people collect the berries for drinks, to make drinks. The inside of the stem goes dry, and inside is a thing called the pith. We were very clever as children. We used to say we were taking the pith. Even at that age, our humour was rather crude. And we collected that pith, very, very similar in looks to a cigarette, cut it in lengths, made a hole down the middle and lit the end, and puffed away. Not very clever. Mouthfuls of acrid smoke made us cough. I was wondering it didn't do us further harm. Probably did. and that we smoked. We moved on a little bit more sophisticated to collecting cigarette ends, nub ends we call them, from the street, and putting them into a bag and drying them. Very dangerous when you think about it. TB, etc. was still about. Can you get TB from that? That sort of thing, I wonder. Anyway, we would probably get the pipes. I can't remember exactly. I think we got them from what so-called jumble sales, and we'd have a pipe. We'd go into our little den. We'd put these nub ends, the tobacco for the nub ends, into the pipe, and we'd smoke. A little bit more like real cigarettes. Not a very clever thing to do, and we did it for years and years. And eventually, years afterward, when we went to work, we would buy cheapish cigarettes, i.e. the Woodbines and the Park Drive, and we'd smoke them. We were even sold by certain shops, they were in singles, one at a time, two at a time. Virtually everybody smoked in those days, you know. I think if I remember right, it was about 1950. I think 80% of all men smoked in this country and 40% of all women. That's a heck of a lot of people. I think we were encouraged to a certain extent by life in general. It was a working man's pastime, one of the very few. Drink was cheap in the pub, cheap-ish. Have you seen them today? The packets. We've done a full circle. We've not banned them completely because it's a very good tax revenue. But there's nothing on these packets to encourage us. And I'm not sure how many people smoke now. It's under 50% of the population. And it's, well, about 20% women. Yeah. And when you consider we smoked it in a thing, that trough was probably what, 6-7 feet long, 2'6", 2 foot, 3 foot tall, 4 or 5 feet wide maximum. There'd be sparks flying, would be lighted the things. Yeah, we weren't exactly brains of Britain, were we? But village life as a youngster. And we were happy enough. I'm trying to think what else we did. But smoking, it was copying the adults. I can't think of many of my friends that didn't smoke at all. One or two of the sportsmen, more sports inclined, didn't. My friend Richard, who's asthmatic, he never did, and he was a much better athlete, certainly footballer, than I was. Yeah, never took the habit of. When you consider that somebody like Stanley Matthews, one of the most famous footballers in the world, advertised them. I can't remember the slogan. Good clean smoke, was it? I'm trying to think who else did. I've got a suspicion Dennis Compton, the famous cricketer, did. It was a done thing. It was years and years before there was strong opposition to smoking, and bit by bit it's declined. I suspect now they're probably selling the worst cigarettes. Was it Capstan Full Strength? If they're still made, I bet they're made in third world countries. Not very moralistic, the tobacco industry. Anyway, yeah, fond memories of that trough, our den. When I look round here, my den. I wonder if it's a repetition, a normal progression, if that's what man progresses to. Did you have a den? Do all old men have oops, I've got hiccups. Have dens? I wonder. Anyway, memories, fond memories. I'm going out into this horrible, horrible weather. 1st of April today. It's a long way to go into summer, but never mind. This is, as I say, number 12. Goodbye, friends. Till the next time. Goodbye.